how do you live at this intersection of I hate men, I see all this terrible behavior online, but I'm with a man, I'm marrying a man. And
Bro, what are we doing? We need a tariff on podcast equipment, I swear. How do you deal with the intersection of I hate men, but I'm marrying one? What kind of question is that? Whom is listening to this?
by the way, Ashley and I make fun of men too, but we have like great fathers and
brothers,
brothers.
friends.
Most do. Most women who do hate men have great fathers, brothers, and men.
Bro, what? Most women who hate men have great what? So you don't hate men. And before you ask how this content even came across my phone, I follow a lot of soggy content for the free jokes, and this happened to fall into that category. I understand that people like all types of garbagey content. It's entertainment, whatever. But this type of genre of podcast, I just don't understand. It's like it's a dating and relationships podcast, but we hate men, but also we don't because we have good fathers. What? So maybe you don't hate men, you just don't like some men. Kind of like we don't hate women, but we really dislike women that do this. So I guess that puts me in the category of men they hate, I guess.
I mean, I think it's a lot simpler than people think. I think people overcomplicate it. It's just, I'm not talking about you.
Amen.
But it doesn't change the inherent fact that men are evil. That is true. Like man as a whole is evil.
Wait, so men are evil or man as a whole is evil? Because if you're differentiating between men and man, then you mean they're different, which means that man as a whole being evil also includes women.
Like just as an entity, a general idea, men have inflicted violence and oppression on the world in ways that are irreparable. Like it's okay if we say that out loud. It's okay if we say that men are inherently evil.
Yes, exactly. It's okay if you say it. It's just dumb. Like there's a lot more ways to do bad things than just physical violence. And to suggest that only men are guilty of the bad things that happen in the world because they may represent the majority of physical violence is just totally unfair. Because generally and biologically speaking, and women are not going to like this, but it so happens to be true, the physically dominant species by design is required to uphold goodness in the world, which means that if and when an injustice is done by man or woman, it is ultimately a man's responsibility to preserve the safety of other people, both men and women. And it's not toxic manosphere, red pill type stuff to acknowledge that this actually is the case. Because even if all of the women in the world were to simultaneously team up, they essentially would be physically enabled to take over all of the men, which means that all of the peace in the world and all of the rest of it is actually upheld and protected by men. And I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I'm not sexist. That's not what this is about. But to just say that men are evil is just so unfair. There's lots of evil women. Lots of evil women do a lot of evil things. But you just have this podcast just like all men are inherently evil. What are you even talking about?
It's like, it's not all men, but for some reason, always a man. Every time something terrible happens, always a man, like 99% of the time. So
yeah, men are also 85% of police officers, 95% of firefighters, 86% of the active duty military. All the people that actually restore the peace and maintain order and protect women from other people, men and women. This just characterization is just mad funny for a dating podcast. It's like the same toxic behavior that they make fun of men for doing online. They're doing the same thing in a different way by just, poisoning the well in the female mind about all men being evil.
I feel like it's a lot simpler than people may think. I don't hate my man. I hate most men.
Cool. I think on behalf of most men, yeah, we're fine with that. Best of luck to him, though, because this is just a toxic mentality in general. It's like, I hate 50% of the human beings on the earth.
And for me, I think given what men have done to me personally, to people I love, and the world as a whole, if they all start guilty and have to work their way to innocent, it's not really a big deal to me.
Yeah. I just love this mentality, dude. Yeah, tell all the impressionable women that this is the correct way to think. What's so funny is the most beautiful, most intelligent, smartest, most confident, loving women I've ever met don't think like this.
I feel very convicted in that. If you're not awful, prove it. Yeah. Quit talking about it and fucking do it.
How about no? No quality, self-respecting man would ever go up to a task like this and feel like they needed to achieve it. Like, oh, this woman hates all men and I have to prove myself that I'm not bad. Now, we would just find another more confident woman that didn't have this toxic mentality. And we would also steer completely clear of anybody that listened to podcasts like this and was like, oh yeah, flirt us. And we would just find someone that didn't think that way. Because there's a lot of them out there. But pop off, I guess, you know what I mean?